Hi. How we doing? How we doing? Hi. It's St. Pepsi, guys. How you doing? So this isn't like a real stream. I've been busy setting stuff up. Um, what was the password? It was probably like dick and balls. Doing good, just working on my mod. What mod are you working on? Marcelon with the Prime. Thank you. Thank you. How are we doing? The Dark Crow, the tier 1. Thank you so much. So Ballin. I'm trying to figure out a way to be able to like mix the YouTube and the Twitch stuff. I'm also looking at streaming onto TikTok at the same time. But I am I've been working on stuff. Hello? 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 How do I sound? Do I sound okay? Read any good books lately? No. Hi. So,
What about now? How do we sound now? Cast with the sub. I've missed you in the streams. How do I sound now? Do I sound okay? Do I sound like trans rights or human rights? How are we doing? Yeah.
So I reinstalled voice mod, which means
I have access to a whole bunch of different voices.
And I have a stream deck in front of me.
That allows me to change the voices.
At will.
So that's something I can do for fun. But yeah, I was sent these. How about that? And I was also sent, I don't know if I can show the camera easily, this Doom the Dark Ages stream deck. Oh. And so now I have 2 stream decks in front of me, which is very useful. And I can I have a penis button on my stream deck. Yeah. Why not? It's supposed to be I can record stuff and then it should like just be on the button, but it doesn't seem to work that way. I have to go in and add the fucking file, which is so dumb, you know? See, like some people have seen the new Valve VR. Good for them. Eaten any good books lately? No, I haven't. I can do this. So that's something I can do. Your last stream broke the internet. Yeah, that's why I've been nervous to stream more. I can also do this. So yeah, I've been messing around with that. Then I have the penis button. Yeah, but my desk is Doom. My desk is Doom the Dark Ages now. Is there anything on my desk that you can't see? No. Look. They sent me all this fucking Doom shit. Why did they do that? Look, I got a Doom Slayer statue right there. I got 2 Doom helmets there. I got the Doom, like, Jesus Christ. So, I hated the Dark Ages and I'm sad about it. That's weird. Why'd you hate it? Can make it better for you all day and all night. Same Pepsi. No, yeah, my dad hooked me up. Hugo Martin, the game director, my dad. It's funny because it's a true story. Years and years ago, before Doom Eternal was even announced, I played 2016 and I loved it, right? And I wasn't really into Doom before I played 2016. I was aware of it, like it was a thing. I wasn't really into my like 90s PC gaming obsession yet. But Doom 2016 had a demo in 2016, and I remember I was in my first apartment and I played the first 2 levels and I was just like, this is the fucking craziest first-person shooter I've ever played. Mantling? I remember when Mantling was nuts, and I loved it so much, and I wanted to know more about it, so I started watching interviews and stuff. And then Daniel Dwyer does his Doom 2016 documentary, and it shows Hugo quite a bit. And I'm like, damn, this guy's sick. This guy's cool. Who's this guy? And then Doom Eternal's announced 2018. Hugo comes out on stage, and I'm on stream like, that dude's sick. I love that dude. Who the fuck is that dude? Right? And then Doom Eternal comes out, and Josh Boyle, whom I don't know his current position, but back then he was head of community management. They do those streams. So, I don't know. I mean, this is so $9.99. To be honest, Doom and Dark Ages isn't great so far. The excess mech influences seem a little sus. All right, well, I disagree. Anywho, so Ancient Gods Part 1 comes out, and Hugo's talking about Ancient Gods Part 2. So I make a video about everything that's known about Ancient Gods Part 2. And at the end of the video, for the credits, I used to do this thing where I would play like funny songs in the credits or whatever. I asked Home, the guy who made Resonance, to help me make a song called I Wish Hugo Martin Was My Dad. And he couldn't do it. He couldn't figure it out. So I took an already made Home song and I just made this up. Right? I know Home. I did. I haven't. I mean, I do know him, but I don't really speak to him very much anymore. So that thing, that song, got his attention, and now we're friends, which is fucking wild. $10. I received $10. Why didn't it pop? It didn't come up on screen. There's a $9.99 super chat. Oh, that might be a scam, actually. If you just donated $10, please let me know. Yeah, Hugo played his kids that song. It was funny because now I'm friends with the guy. I have his personal cell phone number, and we text all the time. And so, you know, that's the id Software stuff is the one thing that I'm kind of, you know, I can't really talk or speculate too much on because it will get him in trouble. But it's not like he tells me anything, but it's still like, well, if Tyler guesses anything right, then, you know. What I have been doing, however, is data mining tools for Doom the Dark Ages have been released into alpha. Some basic tools for looking at the assets and stuff inside Doom the Dark Ages. I don't know if you've already seen, but a cut weapon is usable in the game already. The mod for the Reaver chain shot. 2 years, Cube of the Yam. 2 years. You believe it? Okay, alerts aren't coming through. Stream Elements alerts aren't coming through. Let me refresh this. How do I refresh the... Yeah, it's not coming through. All right. Well, so data mining tools for Doom the Dark Ages have been brought out in a basic form. It doesn't really work just like it doesn't super work just yet. But you can look at a lot of stuff. You can re-enable the console and take a look at a bunch of stuff. And I have found some cool stuff within the assets of it, of Doom the Dark Ages. I'm not going to talk too much about what I found so far because I don't know what I'm looking at in terms of what is Dark Ages and what is Eternal leftovers, because it's apparent that Dark Ages is built on top of Eternal's assets, meaning they effectively, not to ruin your day or anything, but are you mentally prepared for the likelihood of no Half-Life this summer and every article that ever quoted your words gets mad at you, hence the am I ready for them not to announce Half-Life 3 this summer? Yeah, I mean, it's up to them. They can do whatever they want. It's in development and it's an any day now thing. If I ever find out it's shelved, I'll let you know that it's got shelved. But so like it seems like they just kind of took all of the Eternal assets and used them as placeholders until all of the Dark Ages assets were finished. And like there's some cool stuff that I know is Dark Ages specific, like the Reaver Chainshot alternate mod, which is called the Reanimator, or the what was the Nova? And then there's like the equipment launcher was still a thing for a while, and it had smoke grenades and normal grenades, and that turned into the grenade launcher, I think. The turret was player controlled, like it wasn't a shield rune for a while. There was a sword, there was a throwable axe for a period of time, as far as I can tell. There were little Clippy parody characters. I think they were tutorial characters. Like, you know, Clippy from Microsoft Word, like it looks like you're writing a letter. Would you like help? It popped up in the corner back in the 90s and 2000s. Remember Clippy? So there was two little Clippy characters that I found. One's named Rippy and one's named Terry. And as far as I could tell, they would teach you the game. They would like pop up in the visor of the Slayer and like teach you things. I don't know if that's from Eternal or Dark Ages. Cube of the oh, okay, there you go. Now they just came through. Now it's coming through. I don't know what just happened, but now the things are coming through. Yep, Bumpy also subbed. No, I don't know. If it doesn't get announced this summer, it doesn't get announced this summer. It's whatever. You should have Clippy pop up in this XP UI. A lot harder than you think it is. Easier said than done, but I agree. Yeah, I don't know. But like cut content videos for 2016 Eternal and Dark Ages, I already have basic work done on, and it'll be good. Those will be fun. Originally, I was supposed to be getting assets directly from id. Like I had meetings with them about this and stuff, but it doesn't seem like that's ever actually going to happen. Even though I did pitch an alternate version of the thing for Dark Ages specifically that I can't talk about because the pitch is still ongoing and I don't know if that'll actually result in anything, but I'm still trying. If the pitch doesn't turn into anything, then I will just data mine the games and turn those into videos. So what's your opinion on what id does next? Well, what id does next is the DLC. And I don't know specifics about that. And Hugo would never actually tell me those things. Hugo is a cool dude, though. He's super duper nice. He cares very deeply about the game. And like as soon as I finished the game the first time, a couple weeks ago, I was texting Hugo the whole time through my first playthrough and like sending pictures of things that I was like really excited about and that I liked. And I remember I went to go get raspberries for my wife. She wanted to make Electra loves to bake. Thoughts on Marty? I'm not super close with Marty. There is a thing that I'm working on right now with Hugo and Marty at the same time, but it's still in approvals. Hugo told me that we're definitely going to do it, and he's going to make sure that he tells them that we can do this. But I did pitch. There are 2 pitches I have ongoing. One of them is a very traditional, like, interview-ish thing, and that's probably going to happen. But then the other thing is more content related, and development history related. And although Hugo seems interested in allowing me to do that, or at least he was a few years ago, it's a lot harder than you think to allow, like, a company. I got another $10 from somebody named Beverages who keeps sending me $10. Are you trying to scam me or something? If you're sending me two sets of $10, if you just sent me $20, $10 at a time through PayPal, and it's not popping up, please tell me, because I'm getting no alerts that these things are happening. Working with a publicly traded company is a nightmare. Not always. Id isn't a publicly traded company. It is owned by a publicly traded company. And you get into some weird scenarios with that. So, theoretically, if HLX gets canceled now, how long do you think it'll take for that to reach me? Almost immediately. If something like gets shelved or canceled, that decision is usually made by a small group of people and not the entire team. And so there are going to be people that are very upset about it. And so that's, if it is genuinely canceled or shelved, somebody's going to come out of the woodwork and tell either me, Gabe Follower, or sadly it's Bradley. Or, maybe Jason Schreier or something. Somebody will hear pretty quickly. That's not something that will be difficult to find out about if it does happen. It happened with Left 4 Dead 3, years ago, back in like 2015. I had people come to me and be like, yo, we were doing this. And I didn't believe it. And also I was a kid. 2015, I would have been 18. I hate your new mic. Why? Because of how it sounds or because of how it looks? Oh, did my headphones just die? My headphones just died. Okay. Why do you hate my new mic? What's wrong with my mic? Does my mic really sound bad? New mic sounds way better. Sounds good to me. It's too sharp, too crisp. That's the point. I sound like a fucking podcaster now. He's just died. But yeah, Hugo told me that he wasn't responsible for sending me these things. He's just like put my name on a list and then I got them. But, I don't know how many people got the whole battle station thing because I got a whole bunch of stuff. Is the bass not like, I thought it's a bit on the high ends, maybe more bass. Hold on. The settings might be off. No, that's correct. All right, hold on. Because I have this whole stack. Oh. Hold on. Okay, what about now? My VTSs were turned off. I have a whole stack of plugins. So this mic is called the Elgato Wave XLR or something. Thank you for pointing it out, Gabe Follower. I would have never known. And so it has a box, like an audio interface, and you can, you can have a hardware level VTS controller. Like you can have plugins, audio plugins, control the input before it hits software in Windows. And so I have a stack of a compressor, a de-esser, and an equalizer, and I had them all turned off for some reason, and I don't know why. But yeah, so hopefully this sounds better. Yeah. So apparently people are trying to sub and send me money, and it's just not working. There's something going on with Stream Elements because the alerts aren't going through. They're like getting delayed. It's really weird, and I don't know how to refresh it. Well, I just refreshed it and it still didn't go. You're a little loud? Okay. Like, I genuinely have, like, finite hardware control over everything now, and it's really cool. De-esser is not working, lol. And now it goes through. What is this? See, and if you notice, they're happening at the same time, right? An anonymous gifter, 10 subs to the channel. I'd move a bit from the mic. It's too sensitive. All right. What about here? So an anonymous gifter just gifted 10 tier 1 subs to the channel. Thank you so much, an anonymous gifter. That was awesome. You're sick. There's some background noise now. I had a AI noise reduction filter. Like, you're hearing this, my air purifier. I live in a very old house. Thank you so much for that. That's so cool that you did that. Gabe Follower got a free sub just then. I'll turn the noise cancellation thing off. All right, what about now? Okay, so the noise cancellation thing is on now. Does the air purifier help a lot? Yes. So I have really severe seasonal allergies, like to the point where I can't breathe. Even better, sick nasty. Yeah, VTS plugins are awesome. Don't use the Elgato ones. Go find some other ones. Pay for some other ones. Like I'm using Isotope Ozone, which is a free equalizing plugin. But I have really, really bad... Okay, well now $10 just came through. Crime Lord 6099. Oh no, that's a different $10. Who the fuck sent me $20 just through PayPal? Yeah, I did a lot of reading on specifically this XLR microphone. It's dynamic. It doesn't need phantom power. You know. Any update on the Valve poop and urinal situation? No, they don't know who did that, actually. They still don't know who did it, but it still keeps happening, and it's happening, like, in the off hours. And obviously you can't put a fucking camera in a bathroom, so it's going to be tough. Like, unless somebody walks in on the guy who does it, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough, genuinely. I know it's irritating the team. I know that some people found it funny at first. Conduit, thank you for the follow. If you're new to the channel, please follow. I know that some people found it funny at first, but it's been happening for like 2 weeks now, and you know what I mean? You think you think the guy brings it in separately? So, okay, what we're... TF2 cut content, $10. That might be the person who gave me $10, but TF2 cut content, like... Do more TF2 cut content videos. There's plenty of work to be done in that regard. No, I agree. Yeah, there's something wrong with Stream Elements. I have these patches. I also have this. Okay, so what I'm talking about is there's an ongoing problem in the offices of Valve right now that I've been hearing from a few people because it's becoming such a big deal. Where a guy just keeps fucking taking a shit in the urinals. Like, multiple urinals each day has shit in it, right? And it stinks up the whole bathroom, and it just fucking ruins everybody's day. Like, it's different urinals every time. It's a lot of shit. It's not I'm not joking. Why is somebody doing this? Nobody knows why this is happening. But it's been happening for like the last 2 weeks. I've heard about it from 3 different people. The fucking urinal shitting thing. Like, people who don't normally talk to me, or people I haven't spoken to in a long time are like, hey, you want a fun scoop? Somebody's shitting in the urinals. And so, yeah, I don't know who's doing it. Obviously, no one knows who's doing it. It just kind of happens. Gabe Follower's idea of like, oh, whoever's doing this is bringing it from home so that they can quickly just put it in there as a joke or something, because then it does make it a lot easier to not get caught, a lot harder to get caught, because the only way that you're going to have somebody get caught shitting in the Valve urinals is if they are caught in the act, because you can't put security cameras up in a bathroom, not unless like literally the whole building agrees to it, and that's just fucked up. But yeah, so Valve has a problem where it could be an employee, it could be a janitor, it could be a contractor, it could be somebody who just gets into the lobby. There's shit in the urinals at Valve, like all the time right now. Like multiple urinals every day, so much fucking shit. And I'm making all of this up. IC1 said that and I just went off with it. How's my acting? I made all that up. That's completely made up. Yeah, I just saw IC1 say that and I just went with it. I'm a pretty good actor, gotta say. Genuinely, if I started to make you believe what I was saying because I was so good at talking about it, I want you to type in the word cucumber in the chat. Okay? I love you too, Humble. Wouldn't be surprised if it was real. Yeah. So I've actually been practicing my acting because I want to do more voice work. And yeah, I got a couple gigs. I mentioned during the last letting off steam that I wanted to do more voice work because I did Nani for Vertigo 2. And I got a couple of people to reach out and I'm doing some voice work. Some of it's paid, some of it's free. So again, I'm going to say out loud here, if you want somebody to do voice work for your mod, if it's a free project, like here's my rule, right? If what you're doing is going to be released for free, I will do work. I will act in it for free. Period. Right? If what you're doing is a paid thing, I will do work for a lot cheaper than any professional. It's really plausible that some Valve employees would just vent to you, so that helped a lot. No, it happens. Yeah, it doesn't happen as much lately because there's not as much to vent about. Valve nowadays is a much, much better place to work than it was even 5 years ago. Something about finishing Half-Life Alyx and then everybody having to work from home and COVID did something to the mental health. Like, let me put it this way. I'm going to relate it to Coldplay because I always do. Coldplay was sick of touring after A Head Full of Dreams. Coldplay has been touring most of their life since the year 1998. And they finished the Head Full of Dreams tour late 2017, early 2018. They start working on Everyday Life, the album at that time, and they say they're not going to tour that album. And then COVID hits, right? And they can't tour, even though they have an album called Music of the Spheres Volume 1 From Earth with Love, and they want to tour it, and they can't tour it. Having the ability to do a thing that you get to do, that most human beings don't get to do, taken away from you, makes you significantly more appreciative of that thing, right? So, now Coldplay has been touring nonstop. They'll tour for 2 months and then they'll take 2 months off and then they'll tour for 2 months. And they've been doing that for like 3 years, right? The same thing happened with Valve, it seems, where it's like from like 2013, thank you for the follow. If you're new to the channel, please follow. From like 2013 to like 2017, everybody was just kind of like going in and collecting a paycheck. Like genuinely, the wilderness was a bad, bad time for them. And then Half-Life Alyx starts picking up steam, and lack of a better word, and they get it done. And then COVID hits, and you can't go to the office, and people miss it. And people are like, it puts into perspective what you're appreciative of in your own life, right? It's like if because of COVID I wasn't allowed to do a live stream, I would miss it so much. And so now, post-COVID, people are in the offices, people are working. There's like a newfound appreciation for the circumstances that the people at Valve Software, especially the long-term people, find themselves in, right? You combine that with finishing a game, it being good, them actually liking doing that, enjoying, like, they loved making Half-Life Alyx. Half-Life Alyx was like one of the most fun games that they developed, they made. And so now that you just, like, a lot of people are looking at it now with a new sense of, not to sound morbid, but like mortality to it, where it's like, we were like I've had people tell me that the opinion of things have changed, where it's just like, we were coasting for so long because we took for granted the existence of all of this, right? But now we're getting older. We don't have forever to do these kinds of things. And so if there are projects we want to make, we either make them or we never make them. We need to appreciate what we have and show that appreciation through the output. And so that's why when I hear about Codename TF, I don't immediately go, oh, that's just something old. I ask around, no one, and it's like, yeah, people internally are like, have a newfound respect and interest in game development. Does that make sense? Am I making sense? Can you say cucumber if I'm making sense? Is that, you know what I mean? People are realizing that because of the situation where we all went through with COVID, that you don't know that you're going to have tomorrow or next week or next year. So if you have an idea for something, just fucking do it, right? Like, thank you for the follow. If you're new to the channel, please follow. And so HLX, regardless if it comes out or not, is at the end of its development cycle for the most part, right? And so you have other people splitting off from that team being like, well, my job here is done. Maybe we can go do something else. So, what happens now is, it seems like instead of it being, this is speculation, by the way, so if somebody fucking clips this and quotes it out of context, I hope you lose your job. But 20 months from Meet Murdoch, thank you so much. So what I'm trying to say is, the vibe that I'm getting now that they're finishing up HLX, which was a big, big project, and likely the largest team Valve has ever had. Like, Half-Life Alyx at the time was the biggest team Valve ever had, and that was 80 people, right? I expect HLX to be a bit bigger than Half-Life Alyx's team. But I don't think that the project that occurs after this will be, okay, it's the same team, but now we're going to get a little bit bigger. I think it's going to splinter off into smaller teams. I don't think it's going to fizzle out. I think you're going to have some people retire because they see, the release of this as representing the, like, do you know what I mean? Like, oh, we did it. I can't believe we did it. Okay, I'm gonna spend time with my family and bow out. Let me know if you need any consulting help, but do you know what I mean? But then the younger people okay, let me put it this way. When Half-Life 2 was in development, you had the Half-Life 1 developers, and then you had new hires. When Half-Life 2 was out and shipped, you did not have two groups of people. You just had the Half-Life 2 team. And so if the older group retires, or some of them retire, you still have the Half-Life 3 team. I need a cucumber if I'm making sense. Let me know if that made sense to you, the point I'm trying to make. I'll say it again. When they were making Half-Life 2, you had the Half-Life 1 team, and then people they brought on to help with the game. But then when they shipped that game, they became equally as important, equally as skilled. They went through that development cycle together. right? So you would look at somebody like Matt Wood the same way you would look at somebody like Robin Walker. You both shipped the game. And so now you've got all these new people that were brought in, all these people that joined Valve during the dark times, and then you have people like Dario Casali, Robin Walker, Greg Coomer, whom might retire. You don't know. They've been there forever. They've been there for so long. So it's like, okay, yes, but then you also have all these other people. They were on the Half-Life 3 team, right? And so you could, like, okay, well, we did that. I'm going to go do this, or I'm going to go do that. And there are absolute, like, even Gabe Follower, who doesn't agree that TF is representative of a current in development project, I know would agree with me that there are definitely people internally that weren't around for Team Fortress in its heyday that really want to work on a Team Fortress thing. That's absolutely true. Because there are quite a few people internally that joined Valve because of Team Fortress, right? Whether that be you just loved the game and that got you into game development, or you were like a workshop creator and then you got a job. There are absolutely people internally at Valve who would love to work within the Team Fortress IP, right? And so when somebody says they could be like the TF codename thing, my opinion of that is I would love for that to happen. The Team Fortress franchise, the characters, the world, the lore, the vibe, the art style, fucking fantastic. I just hate the community. I hate the people on like the subreddits and Knockout and all that, because they're just horrific people. What I hope, right? What I hope is if it does turn into like a TFX or something else, it brings in enough new people that it kind of purifies everything a bit, brings everybody down a bit. I will say the TF community has been chilling out a bit because most of the things that they complained about have been fixed. Casual is a lot better. The bots are gone. Free-to-plays can talk for the most part. Like, things are getting fixed. People are working on it. It's mostly two contractors and Eric Smith and his part-time, but, Tyler, comb your hair. Fuck you. I know. The one Epic player, I was thinking about you when I was driving somewhere the other day. The one Epic player, are you the one that's trying to get me to play Get Your Free Christmas Tree and also the Mega Build? Or am I confusing you with somebody else? Yes. Did you used to go by a different name? Did you used to have an old screen name? Because I think I remember who you are. It's always been this or the... Oh, then you're not who I think you are. Okay, good. Because I thought you were somebody that used to be really mean to me in disguise. Thank you for the follow. If you're new to the channel, please follow. I'm calling it TFX because if the TF code name is what we think it is, right? A set of game rules that were put within Source 2 recently for some kind of team-based, class-based multiplayer shooter development thing. Thank you for the follow. If you're new to the channel, please follow. If that's the case, I'm going to play the Mega Build. I'm going to play Get Your Free Christmas Trees when we get closer to the Half-Life Marathon and all that. Look at my finger. Look at that. You see that little bump, red bump on my finger? I have something about my blood type that mosquitoes fucking love. Love. Did I hear a new Doom game came out? It did? It seems like whenever I do yard work, which I do every day now because I'm I am in all ways except the most important one, a dad. The older I get, the more that people seem to think I'm like the dad of the community now, for better or for worse. But I love, this is crazy. So like I live in a house now, right? And I used to live in apartments and townhouses and stuff through my entire adult life. Null Music, 42 months, Twitch Prime, thank you so much. I live in an actual house with a yard. And so part of the agreement of me living here, which I don't own the place yet, we're working on it, it's a whole thing. I have to take care of the yard. And it's the first time that I've had that responsibility. And gonna be real, I kind of fucking love it. I kind of fucking love it. Some people have commented that it looks like I've lost some weight. I don't think I did. I think I just got a lot of sun. I have a riding mower. I have a push mower. I have a weed whacker. I have a leaf blower, a reef blower. I always want to call it a reef blower. Thank you for the follow. If you're new to the channel, please follow. And so like right before this, I was fucking mowing, right? I hurt myself. The grass was really high and I'm not used to this area. And there's like this old drainage pipe that was there and it caught the blades and it shot me forward and I smashed my stomach into the steering wheel and it hurts so fucking bad. So I had to dig it out and like make it very known that that's where that is. I didn't know that it was there. But I almost fell off the fucking mower, which was nuts. But yeah, I don't know, like I love doing it, man. Like every day I'm out there doing something. The first thing in my day is I'm like, okay, well, I should probably push mow that. Oh, those weeds are getting kind of high. Or, you know, maybe I should chop back that bush or something. Fucking love it. It is so therapeutic. Casey Delta Tango with the 26 months. Now, it's funny because I used to give Electra a hard time. Because Electra would always say that, like, if the kitchen isn't clean, that looks bad on her. She's always like, well, this is like, I have to take care of this space because it's a representation of the woman. I don't agree with that, but just societally, there's always that chauvinist tendency of people to assume that, oh, the living room or the kitchen isn't in perfect condition. That looks bad on the woman. And I was always like, I don't think people think like that. I think that's an old way of thinking. And now I have to take care of a yard, and I'm like, oh, shit, she's absolutely correct. Because if somebody visits our house and the kitchen's a sty, they're going to look at her weird. But if they come over here and it's weeds everywhere and the grass is at your ankles, that's me. That looks bad on me. Do you know what I mean? And so it's like, oh shit, she was right. I don't agree with it, you know? It is very chauvinistic, but like, it is the truth. So, yeah. Would I ever get turf? No. That is dated and yucky, but it is true, especially if you have older people come over. You know. How many Nuclear Monkey software people are still at Valve? 4, I want to say. Jeep Barnett left. TF2 cut content 10. What the fuck? It's not showing up. There it is. Sorry to cut you off on your story times, but I'm curious. Oh, another 10. Jesus Christ, guys. Thank you so much. When did the HLX summer announcement rumor even start from? Hell, even Bruce, like Funhouse Bruce, is starting to believe it. I forget who Bruce is, but Funhouse once... The first time that I ever got really, really mad... Well, like, Realm Lovejoy didn't last very long. She was there for, like, the orange box and then left. Kim Swift left during the development of Portal 2. I know David Kircher's there because he did a speech not too long ago. And then who else is there? There's, like, Garrett, Ricky... David Kircher... I'm thinking of that picture, right? Of, like... all of the karate people, and they Photoshop their faces onto it. And I'm trying to remember the names, and I don't remember all the names. But, like, I think 3 or 4 people are left from Nuclear Monkey Software. I've never played Hollow Knight, so I can't give you Silksong news. I've never played Hollow Knight. TF2 could use a visual uplift. I completely agree. I don't see Garrett on the staff directory of Valve. If it's the website, that's not a complete staff directory. That's just the people who are okay with getting emails. How many employees returned to Valve recently to work on HLX? See Steve with the new tier 1 sub? That's a really good question. I can never push mow again after using a ride mower. You have to do both, because sometimes with a riding mower, you have to be very aware of inclines and declines, because if you're at an incline that's too much, that can fucking fall on you. So there are parts of the yard that I just mow around on the riding mower, because I know that if I try and do it on the riding mower, I could fucking die. So I take the push mower and I do those bits, right? When I was a kid, so here's a fun fact. I've been doing yard work my whole life. I stopped for a while and I forgot how much I loved it. But when I was like 10, my dad was like, we had this massive yard when I was a kid. My dad was like, okay, we're going to separate the yard into 4 quadrants. This part, backyard, side yard. And for each quadrant you get done, I'll give you $10. And me and my brother Chris split it. You know, we would each do 2 and we'd get $20 every 2 weeks doing that. And that was when I was like 10. It was like the only way I'd make money. And that's where I bought the orange box for the first time, was with that money. That was where I bought my first TF2 hats, was with that money. You know, and yeah, there was one time we used to use this really old mower from like before I was born. It tipped. It fell on me. I was fine. I like rolled away fast enough because I was a kid, you know. But as an adult, it would kill me. It would definitely hurt me really, really bad. Hey, Vice Games with the 4. I'm not answering any of these goddamn questions. Do you think that Ben Burbank using those rumored HLX features for the talk means that they are really confident on the results, just like the door talk? Yes. And then Master Crazy RJ, sorry to cut you off during story times, but I'm curious. Oh, okay, yeah. So when I made, thank you for the follow. When I made the Half-Life 3 will release, here's why video in response to the Funhouse scoop that happened back in 2015, Funhouse's scoop was the cancellation of Half-Life 3 2013. Funhouse was correct at the time. But I was a kid. I was 17. And I was like, Valve wouldn't do that. And I don't like the video, but it's like one of the few videos that have over 1 million views, so it stays online. I remember I made the response video, and then on one of their demo discs, they were like making fun of me, like saying that my whole job is just to suck Gabe's dick and all that stuff. And I was young, and it was like the first time I was really called out by anyone, and it really, really bothered me. I fucking hated them. And then as I got older, I realized that some of them are incredibly funny. I think Bruce is the one that I love, that I really like. Is Bruce the one that's like really into ska and like was really like he had like good comedic chemistry with, there's that married couple that was on Funhouse. Lawrence was the one with the glasses. Bruce was the one that was really into ska. And then there was the guy who's like always muscly. And then the muscly one and his wife worked together. I don't remember their names. James and Elise, that's correct. I always like for a while watched clips of Bruce Green and Elise. They were so fucking funny together. And I was like, damn, I really let Adam and his rude comments about me like ruin my opinion of the rest of the crew, because the rest of the crew were fucking great. Like Funhouse circa 2016, 2017, especially when Elise was there at first, it was so fucking funny. But like, yeah, I remember reading somewhere that something happened with Adam. I'm not super familiar with what happened, but I know that he's no longer associated with it. And I also know that Bruce and Lawrence have their own thing. And I do watch that from time to time. But if Bruce was like believing it, that's fucking crazy to me, because that's like full circle. That's fucking crazy, dude. But yeah, like, even Jason Schreier is saying Half-Life 3 is a real thing. It's a real thing. Just know that I was the one that called it first. Just remember that your friendly neighborhood Tyler McVicker was the first one that was like, this is probably that. I fucking called that November 2022. I'm called the Passionate Gamer because Valve, like, inadvertently confirmed it. He was talking about how he was happy that GTA 6 was delayed off the chance that HLX does get released this year. He would want to play Half-Life first. That's awesome. Shout outs to that guy. I'd love to, like, talk to, just, like, do something with Bruce. That'd be fucking wild for me, because I was, like, 16 or 17. I have something to tell you from the Discord DMs, because W opinions about Doom the Dark Ages, because this game is fucking nuts. No, Doom Dark Ages is great. I love the game. 9.5. But yeah, that would be wild for me, because like the first time I ever dealt with like public hate from another creator was Funhouse. And so when I was like 17 and 18, it hurt me so bad. It hurt so bad. I just wasn't used to it. We were also supposed to do an HLX video in 2022 to reveal that it was like a collab. Gabe Follower, gonna be real with you, bud. You know this, I'm medicated for some problems, up here. And my short-term memory is very bad. And I find that if something is not directly associated with one of my, let's say, special-brained hyperfixations, I don't tend to remember it very well. I can rattle off every main set list that Coldplay has ever done for each major tour, for each album. I can rattle off each album that Coldplay's ever done in order, plus the B-sides, plus the unreleased tracks that we're aware of. I can rattle off fucking Wikipedia's worth, entire wiki's worth of information about the development of different games that I love, and 90s technology, and South Park. But like, I can't tell you what I had for lunch yesterday. We should have made that video. I apologize that we didn't. That would have been cool. Look at the stars. Look how they shine for Tyler and everything he dialer. Yeah, it was all poop. Selective memory. Yeah, it's because of trauma. I've got compartments in here that if they're ever opened, I'm done. Do I really believe that HL3 will be 2025? I don't 100% believe that it will be released this year. No, it's absolutely possible it'll be released next year. But like, by all known laws of aviation, there is no reason a bee should be able to fly. So I think it could be any day now that HLX gets announced. It could be tomorrow, it could be next week, it could be next month, it could be next year. But a bee flies anyways. So, yeah. So the thing that people always say about, CS2 isn't getting much content because they're working on HLX. No, not really. I'm sure more people are helping with Deadlock than they are with HLX, because there's more overlap between Deadlock and CS2 than HLX and CS2. The CS2 project was released too soon. It will remain in a kind of weird, unfinished state for a very long time. I don't think we're going to be seeing operations anymore, at least not for a long time. Especially now that they're like doing this weird like Operation Light thing with these missions. But, and I've said this many times, I'm the single player guy, right? Gabe Follower is absolutely more well versed in Valve's multiplayer stuff. Other than Team Fortress 2. For some reason, I click with TF. I don't know why. But other than Team Fortress, I will pick a single-player game over a multiplayer game 100% of the time. I don't play Dota 2. I don't really play Counter-Strike. I know a lot about Counter-Strike because it's part of my job. I'm never going to learn anything about Dota 2. Not unless it was in Artifact or Underlords. Did you see Jakey's video on CS? I haven't watched it yet. I saw that he did a video on CS, though. Have you checked out the new Adventure Time comic book series? No, I still need to read. I still need to finish the old one. And I own half of it. How likely do you think it'll be that it'll be called Half-Life 3? If they're proud of it, 100%. And they won't release it if they're not proud of it. Tyler, do you believe that we're seeing different Valve? Yeah, we talked about this earlier. I hope you can see the VOD in a bit. But yeah, absolutely. Valve is a very different beast nowadays. There's some stuff. So I watch every Jakey video. Jakey, I've told this story before, so I'm sure some people are sick of it. Laser, thank you for the follow. If you're new to the channel, please follow. Jakey proposed to my wife. It was early 2020. Yeah. It was early 2020. Jakey follows you on Twitter. Yes, he does. This is not a bit. This isn't me acting. This is a true story. So I somehow got put in a Discord call with Eddie Burback's brother, his twin brother, and Naked Jakey. And it was the four of us plus a mutual friends that I have with Naked Jakey named Miles Dobson, who's a British actor who works in Canada. And he's in the chat all the time. Yeah, we were talking about VR, like Boneworks. It might have been in 2019 because I think Boneworks was about to drop. And we were talking about, I had access to Boneworks at the time. And they were trying to get me to talk about it. I'm like, nah. But I'm like, it is really good. But they were asking me questions about Valve and stuff. And I know I impressed the shit out of Eddie because everything that I said came true. But we were talking about Half-Life Alyx and VR and stuff. And yeah. And I was trying to get Jakey to redo his Valve video. Valve is dying because Valve is changing. And he's like, well, I'm trying not to do so many game videos, but now he's changed that, so I don't know. But Electra comes out. This was in the townhouse. Electra comes downstairs in my office, and she's like, who are you talking to? I'm like, Naked Jakey. And she goes, no, you're fucking not. And then I put my headphones on Electra, and Jakey's like, hey, is this Electra? And Electra's a fan. She's like, what the fuck? And then Naked Jakey goes, well, I mean, you want to ruin Tyler's life? You want to marry me? And Electra's like, no. And then Eddie, I think, was like, ooh, Jakey got rejected. But yeah, to this day, Electra, whenever Naked Jakey gets brought up, it's like, he proposed to me. I had and I've had a few other conversations with him since. He's chill. We're not friends, but he's chill. And then I had Eddie Burback's phone number for a while. Either he changed his phone number or I am not valuable to him anymore. Because we haven't spoken in years. But yeah, that's a true story. That was me rubbing elbows with people much, much bigger than me. Lynn. Game Rant, I'm positive, is partially written by AI at this point. Are you kidding? Do I have any other fun stories with other YouTubers? Oh, in 2015, I was asked to do a show with Ross Scott, Freeman's Mind guy, and then the show never happened because they did one episode with the other co-host and it was hated. It was called Moon Gaming. That never went anywhere. Would I have married Jakey? No, I don't want to live in New York. I like living in rural area. I don't like the city. Yeah, I don't really talk to other content creators as much. Well, that's not true. Jerma from time to time. Joel from time to time. Not so much lately, ever since I had to switch my Discord account, which is very annoying. Well, Well, Bringus, yeah, but Bringus isn't so much larger than me that it's like, why the hell are you talking to me? Bringus is cool. I became friends with Bringus because I found Bringus just randomly. I was looking for something to watch when I was at the gym, and then he's made a joke about me, and I'm like, and so I reach out. Never really. I emailed Vinny once or twice to try and get him to do something with me, and he's like, nah, no thanks. But Joel though is cool. Joel and I have done a few things. We always talk about doing something, and then we just kind of both get distracted. We were gonna do a stream together, and that didn't go anywhere. And then Jerma, again, like not friends. I would say I'm more friendly with Joel than I am Jerma, but Jerma's very nice. The few times that I've had conversations with him, he's very supportive and very, very nice. Like super sweet, and he listens, and I don't know, he's great. But I like when I first started developing the time travel show, I pitched him the idea, and I was like, I'm working on this big thing. It's very much inspired by your stuff. Can I get your opinion on it? And we talked about it for like half an hour, and that was cool. Yeah, I'm friends with Simple Flip. Me and Simple used to stream all the time. The thing with friendships is I'm terrible at them, and I would probably be closer with all of these people if I was a better social person. But I'm horrible at keeping up with friends. Even friends from high school, like my best friend Garrett, whom I have been best friends with since like elementary school. He constantly texts me and is like, hey, can we hang out? And I'm like, I gotta work. Nah, I'm busy. Not Simple the CS player, Simple Flips. And it's just like, I'm a terrible friend, man. Getting older made me realize just why don't I have a lot of friends? Because I'm really bad at keeping them. I'm always thinking like, well, I gotta work. I'm always super busy. I always have like 8,000 projects I have to do. Get Joel to play Get Your Free Christmas Tree. Jerma and Joel are the two people that I haven't been able to get back on my Discord friends list because I lost my Discord account, which sucks. But whatever, Jerma doesn't go on Discord very often. It's like he checks his stuff every like 2 or 3 weeks, and if he sees you, then he'll participate in a conversation, but he's not like active with it. With Joel, he's if you catch him at the right time, he'll talk to you for a really long time. Tyler, people can't send you friend requests. I know it's turned off for security reasons because when I had it on, the craziest fucking death threats I ever got in my life occurred. And there's some stuff I can't talk about legally right now that, stupid shit. One day I'll talk about it. But, yeah, the TF2 fans are a rare breed. Joel's mods are the key. Oh, for sure. Yeah, and that's usually how I get in contact with people. But, there are people that I've always wanted to do like one episode of Letting Off Steam with. Like I would love to do the live show where we take community questions with Hugo, a live Q&A session with Hugo, and that's what I pitched. And Hugo seemed cool with it, but Microsoft and Bethesda are just like, absolutely fucking not. No. Thank you for the follow. It has to be pre-recorded. Are you kidding? And I understand, but that's the dream, is to do a live Q&A with game developers. But it's just it's difficult when the community and PR people are like, we have to make sure that it's okay. And okay, yeah, I get it. That's fine. But yeah, prereqs are still fine because they give me a lot of freedom with them. But there's still other creators I'd love to pick the brain of. LGR is a big one. I've been a huge fan of LG. Well, I wouldn't say huge, but I have actively watched every LGR upload since I was like 15, And then like Linus, Linus Sebastian is kind of a role model of mine in like a professional regard. And I've had interactions indirectly with him. I've had long conversations with Luke before, but not Linus. I did get Linus to say my name for a video once, though, which was cool. Somebody, Jolly Rancor. Yeah, I've spoken with him before. I think it was Jolly that I had a really, really long conversation with, although I get Jolly confused with somebody else. Desync. No, it was Desync that I had the long conversation with. Well, I was the very first person to sign up for Floatplane. So that helped. And Floatplane is going to turn into the support platform for the Time Travel Show once the Time Travel Show is capable of being a bi-weekly thing. So, but yeah, I was like the first person to send an email saying I was interested in doing Floatplane, and that, helped me meet Luke. And I've discussed the Time Travel Show with Luke quite a bit, and Luke seems like he's chill. I like him a lot. Yeah, I don't know. This is the Tyler Jackoff moment, isn't it? This is the Tyler Jackoff hour. Yeah. Other creators are fine. It's just like other creators aren't friends. They're colleagues, right? And it's tough to the only creator that I've genuinely felt like was a very, very close friend of mine is Simple Flips. And that's just because he's a beautiful person with a charming personality. But no, he's like, Simple Flips is the kind of person that if he cares, like if you're his friend, he gives you 110%. And when he talks to you, it always feels like it's just you and him. He's great. I love that man. Shout out to Simple Flips. But yeah, the one time that me and Simple Flips hung out was at a Dave & Buster's in Cleveland. I was so excited to see him. He was having a terrible day. And it was like his life at that point was a soap opera and I was a cameo. It's a fucking wild day. But yeah, that day I also met like Nintendo and Nathaniel Bandy and other Nintendo creators. And I'm sitting there in a fucking Cyberpunk 2077 jacket. And this was before the game was considered good again. Yeah. I remember sitting at a table with a bunch of other all other creators. Everybody else at this table was a Nintendo focused creator, and then it was me. And they had just come from Scott the Waz's house. And I was just like sitting there trying to start conversation. So I was just like, "What? Okay, well, these are Nintendo guys. So what are we talking? So what Mario Party is the best one?" And, how do you get to meet these content creators? You just message, like, just if you're another creator, especially one that has a name that people recognize like mine, then you just message them and it just goes from there. It's like, I'm not a big creator. Like I have like 370 some thousand subscribers, and that's big. That's like D-list, C-list YouTuber. But my name is constantly in the news, and so people know who I am through that. And so, when they're like, "Oh, Tyler McVicker, the fucking Half-Life guy?" Okay. Because everybody loves Half-Life, I even like fucking Cold Ones constantly with the Half-Life sound effects. Everybody loves Half-Life. And so it's like, yeah, okay, everybody loves Half-Life, and I'm the goddamn Half-Life guy, so okay. How old am I? I'm 28. I'm 28 years old. Yeah. $10. Joel played a game I made when I was 13 on stream once, and I refused to watch him play because I know he tore it apart because it was rough. Old projects always feel embarrassing to watch people interact with. Yeah, but at the same time, there's value in old projects, right? And this is an argument I have with creatives, any creative that I speak with. There should not be embarrassment in the work that built who you are today. Because everybody has to start somewhere. Like Jake the dog said, sucking at something is the first step to being kind of good at something. And it's like, okay, let's imagine that you're a musician and you're the kind of person that's like really embarrassed of your first few albums. because it's like, oh, you were a different person then, you weren't as talented, you didn't know what you were doing. But everybody else fucking loves those albums. They built who you are. There's no reason to look at old work and be like, oh. Like, yeah, okay, compared to what you can do now, it's terrible. But if you hadn't made those things, you wouldn't be making these things, right? So you can't look at that stuff with like gut-wrenching embarrassment. You should look at it with like whimsical pride almost. Like, I've gotten to the point now where I can watch my older videos. I can reckon with my older mistakes and be like, well, if I hadn't gone through that, I wouldn't be me. I wouldn't be here today, right? So you can't let shit like that get to you. You have to be able to accept it. You have to be able to look at it and be like, yeah, okay, yes, that's where I started. It's fine. So that's my opinion. And I have this argument with musicians sometimes. And if I ever, achieve the dream and get to speak with Chris Martin, I'll tell him that. I know that you're fucking sick of me talking about Coldplay. Their first 5 concerts are all recorded, and not a fucking lick of any of them are public. And I know they have them because they put out like 10-second snippets of it every 5 years. I want to see your first concerts. Definitely needed to hear that. Yeah, no problem. My dream is that they play Twisted Logic live. Yeah, no. X and Y is viewed as their worst. They think it's their worst album because it was when they were the unhappiest. There's a lot of personal biz that ain't my business that was going on at the same time, but the record label shipped it before they were done with it. There's a reason why, 9 out of the 10 Coldplay albums are all like 42 minutes each-ish. And then X and Y is like an hour and 10 minutes. Yeah. Speed of Sound exists. The song Speed of Sound exists because the executives were telling Chris to write another Clocks. Half of the songs on that album are too long in their minds. The only good one that came out of that album, and the only reason the band is still together, is because of Fix You. And technically White Shadows, because Brian Eno plays synth on White Shadows, and then Brian Eno was the producer for Viva La Vida and the Unreleased Wedding album, and that kind of saved the band, but that's a whole other story. So yeah, Twisted Logic, sunlight opened up my... It's a great song. They'll never play it. They will never play it. He recently played Gravity, which is a B-side from the X and Y era. And when he talked about it, so like they do this, oh my God. You're getting me to fucking talk about, so I am developing a Coldplay fan podcast with a very good friend of mine that I met in the community. And it just exists to get the attention of the band so that we get the opportunity to interview them. So I am making, and we might have people that are important backing it up, and there's some cool stuff happening there. If you're at all interested in my fucking Coldplay obsession, just know that I am making 2 videos in the style of that Half-Life 3 documentary for my second channel, just to like demonstrate. It's a whole thing. There's some cool shit happening that I can't talk about in detail. But there's this thing that they do at their shows now where they look at signs in the audience on the Jumbotron, and they'll look for they look for like, please play this song. And like 90% of the time, they just end up playing Everglow, which makes me think they specifically look for a sign that says, please play Everglow. But every once in a while, they'll have a song that's like, that somebody will be like, please play this very obscure song that you haven't played in years, and somebody asked them to play a song called Gravity. And that was one of the first demos that they did for that album. And Chris told this story that he, in like 2003, 2004, put a bunch of songs on a cassette and mailed it to the guy who gave him the record contract named Dan. And Dan, there was like 13 songs on this cassette, maybe more. And Dan said, no, none of these are any good. Do it again. And one of the songs that he said wasn't any good was Gravity. And Gravity is a song that is kind of becoming huge lately. In the same way that Sparks, some random deep track from their first album, fucking blew up so big on TikTok. It became their third most played song on Spotify, and now they play it in every concert. Whereas before, if you were to ask them about that song, he would get visibly uncomfortable because it's some random acoustic bullshit from their first album. It's fucking crazy how that happens. How do they remember to play Gravity? I'm going to be real, they don't. It's just Chris on the piano, and he doesn't play it right. And he forgot the second verse. He just repeated the first verse. The first verse is, baby, it's been a long time coming, such a long, long time, and I can't stop thinking such a long, long time. Can you feel my heart beating? Can you hear that sound? I won't look now. And then the chorus. And then it goes, baby, when your wheels start turning and you can't let down, he completely forgot that, even though there's a binder in front of him with the lyrics of every single song that he ever wrote that was released. Still doesn't play it right. He plays it too fast. He plays it upbeat. But the fact that he's still happy to play it makes me so goddamn happy. Gravity is one of the best B-sides. But if you're at all interested in this, and I'm being serious, the best underrated Coldplay song is a song called I Ran Away. It was a B-side to The Scientist on their second album. It's a song called I Ran Away. It is one of their best songs ever written. Tyler not sound batshit insane, challenge any percent. Thoughts on Charlie Brown? Fucking great song. Milo Xyloto gets better as I age. Even though there are songs that they cut from that album that I'm so curious to hear. Milo Xyloto is that graffiti album, right? And there's that whole graffiti mural that was part of the album cover. All over that mural is lyrics from songs and titles of songs, and a bunch of them aren't in the album. Golden Arrow, Tomorrow, Car Kids, Love in a Lethal Dose. Those aren't in the fucking album. And I've always wanted to hear what Car Kids sounded like, because Car Kids is just like, it was so part of the aesthetic of that album. No one knows what that song even sounds like. Even people that claim to have insider info don't know what Car Kids sounds like. Coldplay, let me listen to Car Kids, please. And it's that kind of thing that if that message ever reaches Coldplay, to be like, why the fuck do you want to hear that? But yeah, go listen to I Ran Away. You know what? I'm going to make you listen to it. We're going to listen to I Ran Away right now. And then we'll talk about HLX. So you can't leave. I'll talk about HLX after we listen to this song, so you guys can't go nowhere. So we have to listen to the best underrated Coldplay song. I want you guys to tell me what you think of this song, because I remember the first time I heard it, it made me cry. I have this thing, I don't know why I do this. The song doesn't even need to be sad. if it's so good, if I find it so good, I get very emotional, right? It's why I cried at Half-Life Alyx, right? It's because what I'm looking at, like, I think about all the people that had to touch this thing to make it happen. I think about all the time and suffering and anxiety that goes into the creation of a thing. And so, like, if this thing is now in my possession and I'm experiencing it and it's hitting in a way, my spine tingles and I just get overwhelmed, right? This happens to me with video games. I teared up with different parts of Doom the Dark Ages, not because it was sad, but because it was just like, oh my God, you know? ASCAP. I don't know what ASCAP is. What, isn't that the music registration thing? Unless I'm thinking of something else. Yeah, the American Society of Composers, Authors, and Publishers. Yeah. Yeah, there's songs that are copywritten through the ASCAP database by Chris Martin and Coldplay that no one has ever heard, like Sex and Violence and Great Expectations. I'm very excited because now that they're getting close to like their final album, there's 2 more albums before they stop making albums. They're going to start doing, they're finally going to start doing archival material, like compilations of unreleased material and stuff. And I'm so fucking excited for that. Because there are bootlegs of like unreleased material that don't get me fucking started on like the behavior of some people and the entitlement of some people and how they buy and sell stolen material. It's just a whole thing. But like if it ends up on SoundCloud or something, I'm going to listen to it. And it's like, sometimes you hear something that pisses you off because it's like, what the fuck were you thinking? That's so good. All right. Don't buy and sell material that's not yours. Fuck you if you do that. All right. Mm. The music can only be on Twitch. Go to the Twitch stream if you want to hear the song. Best part. Best part. No, wait. No, it's not. No, it's not. After this. Okay, this is the best part. Oh. I love this drum bit. This one coming up. Ah! Even the guitar feedback coming up. Ah! Ah! I fucking love that song, man. Oh my god. That's the kind of thing that when I play it for people, they're like, wait, that's Coldplay? What the fuck? I'm like, I know. Ah! Just like that oh. Yeah, it's very Radiohead. Obviously, it's very Radiohead. It's just, I didn't listen to Radiohead when I was a kid. That's called I Ran Away by Coldplay. It's a B-side to The Scientist. Thank you for the follow. Thank you for the Twitch Prime. Look, the thing is, right? It's a very simple chord progression. It's literally 3 chords in the verse, and then they add a 4th in the chorus, right? That guitar riff, since I was a fucking kid, I've just been, it's like, I'm flying. Oh. Like, Jesus Christ. I fucking, like, the first time I heard that song, back in the day, in like 2006, 2007, they released a box set of all of their singles on 7-inch vinyl. I wanted it so bad. I wanted it so bad. I got it for Christmas like 3 years after it came out. And I wish they made another one of these, because it's 99 to 2000, and it's like, it's been a while. It's very, very expensive now. But I still own it, right? And I had this, like, this is what it looked like. I had this cheap fucking Crosley Cruiser ass record player. Crazy thing is, right? It's all the singles plus some of the B-sides. Each one of these discs has a song that you know and a song you've probably never heard before. And so this was an experience for like 12 or 13-year-old me. The first time I put the B-side to The Scientist on, I laid on the floor and cried. I must have been like 11 or 12, but I was just like, what the fuck is this? Yeah. Nah, dude. Mm-mm. Love it. Fucking love it. I love that song. If I ever... There's a couple years before you started the channel. Yeah. If I ever... I've never seen Coldplay live, and I probably won't for another few years. Does Electra like Coldplay? She does. She's annoyed about hearing about it, I'll tell you that. Because I definitely talk about Chris Martin and Coldplay just as much, if not more, than I talk about id Software, Hugo Martin, Valve Software, Half-Life, Team Fortress, you know. I'm constantly like, yeah, I saw this interview with Chris and he said that he does this. I might do that. Genuinely, and this is not a joke, my creative role model in life, and it's been this way since I was 10, is Chris Martin. He just is, right? And I've met Gabe Newell. I'm friends with Hugo Martin. My biggest dream in life is to not even record an interview or anything. It doesn't have to be a video. It doesn't have to be content. Just like have dinner with him or something. Like just pick his brain and ask him all the questions that I've always wanted to ask him. You know, that's the dream. That's my dream. I mean, I'd love to talk to the whole band. I'd love to talk to Phil. Love to talk to people who are associated with the band, like David D. Rossi and what's his name? John Hopkins or Debs Wild or Joe Wiley or, you know, the whole band, you know. But, well, okay, so somebody asked, we'll talk about Half-Life Alyx at HLX in a minute. Why is Chris Martin my creative role model? Because he never stops. Because the way that he looks at his job, it's an obsession. He's always thinking about it. He has these deals with himself where it's like, if something is calling, if a creative idea is calling, I need to drop everything. Even if I need to sleep, I need to put this down. He's always making. He's always creating. And he looks at the idea of being creative in a very humanist way. And the way that he talks about his mental illnesses and his anger and his frustrations and stuff, I very much relate to. And I feel like we might have a very similar brain. And I don't know. He has an ability to say things in a way that make me feel like, holy shit, is he talking about me? He's not, but like, and like, you know, there's a lot, I could go on for a very, very, very long time, but to sum up why he's my role model creatively, I could give a shit about his personal life. I don't need to know about his personal life. People always, you know, when you watch interviews with celebrities, they're constantly asking about like, well, how's your girlfriend or how are your kids? And it's like, look, I don't give a shit about the man outside of the work. I care about the creative body of work and the brain that creates that body of work. I don't need to know fetishes or drug use or histories with alcohol. Like, it gets me so angry. And even, it doesn't matter. It doesn't just have to be people talking to Chris, but when people interview genuine creatives and the whole, like, it's like imagine if somebody gets the opportunity to talk to Paul McCartney and they try and ask, so is it true that you jerked off John Lennon in a hotel room? You don't fucking ask that. You know what I mean? You just, if you're a fan of the creative work, I'm sure they would appreciate if you asked questions about specifically the creative work and showed interest in the work. Yeah. But yeah, his creative process, his way of compartmentalizing human emotion against the person that he needs to appear to be as the performer. Like, I'm so inspired by that because it's like he's almost exactly 20 years older than me. So it's like he's lived a life and he knows significantly more. So whenever he does an interview, I feel like we have very similar fucked brains. I mean, I'm definitely projecting with that, but like, I'm gonna start crying and I apologize, but like, one day, one fucking day, I'm going to speak to him and I'm going to make a good impression and it's going to be like Hugo Martin. That's what I tell myself. But like, yeah. Like obviously I don't play to 80,000 people in a stadium every day. but he puts on a mask and he is the performer, right? That's me. I do that. This isn't who I am when the camera's off. I know how to speak in a way that entertains. I don't know why. I don't know how it is that I'm capable of talking about anything and people are interested. I don't get it, right? Because the people in my life do not give a shit. But for some reason, when I sit here, right, and I'm talking about video games and I get passionate about it, that's partially me, but it's also me playing it up a bit. I know how to act on camera to keep you interested, right? And so being able to compartmentalize that, the real me versus the camera me, I don't know. There's a lot to it. I love that. Yes, I love Half-Life. That's the thing. The obsessions and the passion and the love for the stuff is absolutely real. It's about, yes, it's about vibes and it's about delivery. Exactly. Yeah. I know that for some reason, when I get passionate about something, I know how to, I guess code switch would be the word, present that passion in a way that's entertaining to people. And that's because, yes, I have been doing this for a very, very, very long time. You say since 2011, it's been well before that. I've been doing videos since 2006, right? So, and here's the fun thing, right? In the same way that Chris Martin never turns off, right? And this does frustrate me knowing that there's like what is released, like what is released by Coldplay is like maybe 8% of what that man creates. And I know like I'm not entitled to listen to it, but like it is frustrating when they talk about, oh, we're making this song. That song was originally called Legends, or, oh, this song, we wrote a song called Famous Old Painters, or, oh, we wrote a song called Lucas, and you never get to hear it. It's just never, you're never going to get to hear it. That's so fucking frustrating. And it's fine, whatever. But still, you know, yeah, it's just like, in the same way that he never turns off, he's always writing, he's always thinking, he's always planning, he's always making lists. I'm always making lists. I am always on. I am always planning. And I am always talking to myself. This, my ability to speak to you and get what's up here into the microphone in a way that is understandable, entertaining, and fluid, I practice this all the fucking time. I am not kidding. I am almost always doing this. This is how I process my thoughts now. And I'm obsessed with communication, verbal communication, and being able to use the spoken word, not only to be able to educate or to convey something, but to entertain at the same time. And so like when I'm in the shower, I'm talking to myself. When I'm mowing the lawn, I'm talking to myself. When I'm in the car by myself, I'm talking to myself. And I'm not necessarily talking to myself. I'm imagining I'm talking to you guys. Or I'm imagining I'm interviewing somebody that I hope to interview someday. Right? That's just how I am. That's how I operate. That's how I work. Am I interested in Coldplay leaks? To an extent, obviously. Like if something is out there, and I don't, it's just there, I'll listen to it. But I'm not the kind of person that's like, and I know people like this, that like are constantly looking for places to buy or like finding new sources to get stuff for money. Let's just like, fuck off. So there's like this issue in modern music where it just seems like everybody has everything. And so because of that, people go on these websites and they sell material that isn't theirs for thousands and thousands of dollars a song. And so, okay, let's imagine that you are a super fan of a band. You absolutely hang on to every word that a person says, like me. And you're told, I have this unreleased Coldplay, let's say Coldplay. I have this unreleased Coldplay song that you know about the existence of, but you've never been able to hear. And you can have it. You can have an MP3 for it for $2,000. And no, these aren't live recordings. These are like studio recordings that somehow people get a hold of. And like people have come to me and offered, like, do you want, and so what happens is people can't, no one person can afford that shit. So you have what's called a group buy. And that's where you get a bunch of people to put a little bit of money into a pot, and then everybody gets a copy of it when they buy it. And then that leaks because you just gave it to like 25 people. It's so fucked up. I hate it so goddamn much. I hate it so much. It feels so gross. And like, I've met people that are just so toxic and terrible about this. And it's more about like, it's gross. I hate it. And it's like, it would be one thing, right? If somebody leaked a bunch of stuff and they got in trouble for it, but now it's just out there. And so the community as a whole is like, well, I mean, we could try and preserve this, whatever. But it's never like that. It's always people like, well, now I have something that others don't, and people have hyperfixations, so please spend $10,000. Fuck off. I hate that. I hate it so much. And it seems like it's happening with literally every major artist nowadays. Yeah, it'd be like if I sold the HLA build. Exactly. Fucking disgusting. I hate it. It results, however, in a file getting passed around like 8 or 9 times, and then eventually somebody just throws it up on SoundCloud, or throws it up on SoulSeek, or throws it up on like file sharing websites or whatever. And then at that point, it's kind of just public now. And I have heard stuff that way, and anybody can. And literally every artist has this thing going on right now. Like every artist. It seems like no matter what you look into, it's like, well, there's like, yeah, like there was a set of like 100 songs of that one that was sold for like $50,000. And it's like, okay, all right. If somebody receives a leak, it'd be one thing to just be like, okay. And then just stay fucking quiet about it, to not like cause any problems or anything. It's just like to be like, well, now I have it and people want this, so now I can sell it. Fuck that, man. I hate that so much, man. It's so disrespectful to the artists. I hate it. It doesn't help. I will say this. It doesn't help that Coldplay has never released a piece of archival material in their entire history. And because of that, it's kind of like an open black market where anything is valuable because there's nothing to compare it against, and you know that they'll never release anything. That's not me saying that it's their fault. Absolutely not. It's terrible, scummy behavior, and I hate it. But they're, you know, they do have the power to completely destroy that fucking market. I hate that so much. That's something that I think about a lot, because it's just like, yeah, okay. Somebody hacked a producer, and then that person sold stuff to somebody, and then that person sold stuff to somebody, and then that person sold stuff to somebody, and now you bought it from that person? Oh, gee. Yeah, you're really fucking cool. That's exactly what happens, though, and it's just like, fuck that. Yeah, Weezer had that problem, and then Rivers Cuomo was like, fuck it, Weezerfy. And they literally host everything. Radiohead heard that somebody was selling mini disc recordings from the OK Computer sessions. I think it was OK Computer. And they were going to sell it for like $750,000. And Radiohead was like, fuck no. And just put that stuff up on Bandcamp, and then sold it for $10. And then the proceeds for that went to charity. That's badass. Coldplay is working on a project called Alphabetica, though, which is, oh my God, we're still talking about Coldplay. We're still talking about Coldplay. I'm so sorry. Okay, so the big Deadlock update happened like a little over a week ago. It redid the shop for Deadlock, and in it is a lot. It's a lot. We still need to do the data mine on the stream, and I am still going to do the data mine on stream because that's fun. It was the OK Computer recordings. Yeah. So, yeah, some new stuff was found. NPCs can crawl now. This will be a video because we're going to do it. The entire save system was rewritten and overhauled. NPCs can crawl through stuff, so I'm guessing NPCs crawling through vents and shit. But yeah, some new cool stuff was found. Wheel friction. The friction, it's not a significant amount, but it's like, it's still being worked on. There's still stuff there. Like, you know, in the latest update, there were leaks. Do you use AI with data mining or do you just control F? No, I scroll through all of it and it takes like 8 to 16 hours an update. And we stream the whole fucking thing. Are these HLX leaks or future deadlock stuff? These are more than likely HLX related strings, yeah. NPC crawling I don't think would be deadlock. Save and load is not deadlock. It's a single player thing. But yeah, the Half-Life, it's getting close, guys. Like, it's getting really close. So, what was Aperture Nest? I still don't know what Aperture Nest is. Still don't know. How close? Close. Close enough, I'll say. It could be announced today. It could be announced tomorrow. Could be announced next week. Could be announced next month. Could be announced next year. Could be announced in a year and a half. We don't know. But it's the closest it's ever been, my friends. It's the closest it's ever been. Yeah, I'm not going to... I don't think it... I genuinely don't think it'll be at Summer Games Fest. That's not a joke. When are you data mining, though? When I get the time, man. Life has been nuts. There are two... there are two members of our family, one on my dad's side, one on my mom's side, that are both heavily hospitalized, and it's kind of an any day now thing, and that's been a lot of my time within the last month and a half to 2 months. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff I would have had done by now, but there's a lot of shitty stuff going on right now, and I'm trying to ignore it. You know, that's life. Life happens. Again, Chris Martin talks about this kind of thing all the time, and it definitely helps me. Chris, if you ever hear this, thank you for being you. I appreciate you. But yeah, like, I've been spending a lot of time at hospitals and stuff, and I've seen some stuff that was pretty hard to see. Things have been... I feel like I've aged like a decade in the last 2 months or so. Is life all about luck? 50 knock from Thomas. It's partially some luck, some who you know, some talent, some tenacity. Yeah. If anybody here knows Chris Martin, let him know that I love that man and I want to speak to him. And I'm going to say this every stream until somebody that knows Chris Martin gets that message to him. And I mean the Coldplay's Chris Martin, not just random men named Chris Martin. Because that seems like a pretty common name. Put on the Doom helmet. I'm not wearing pants, so I can't get up. I wish them health. Probably not realistic. No, it's yeah. I can get you Steve. Who's Steve? I can get you Martin? What are you talking about? I'll tell my neighbor Chris Martin to have a word with you. You should make a YouTube channel and every video should be you saying you love Chris Martin, you want to talk to him. No, that's too desperate. I would say, like, I'm working on Stream Elements converts it. 50 NOK is $4.81. That's sick. I didn't know Stream Elements can convert it. Yeah, Stream Elements updated to allow for more multi-streaming features, and it's actually incredibly helpful. No, I'm making a video about some interesting stories and lost media about Coldplay. So one of the stories will be about the wedding album, and then one of the videos will be about the wedding album, and then the other video will be about the Panic EP. So the wedding album was a shelved project that they worked on between June 2009 and April 2010, and then he wrote the song Paradise. Yeah. It sucks. Human error, 23 months. Thank you so much. It's 2 family members, one on my mom's side, one on my dad's side. So literally everyone's sad. So no, I'm not main channeling this stuff, but like there's going to be a video talking about the shelved / slightly canceled album called The Wedding Album from 2010 that was going to follow up Viva La Vida. Brian Eno was going to produce it, and it was going to be super like Parachutes-esque, like very acoustic. And then I was going to talk about Big Fat Noise's Panic EP, which was the very first thing that they ever did as a band. They recorded on a 4-track cassette recorder in Johnny's bedroom in 1998. And I'm going to talk about those 2 things because they're both technically lost media. Even though the wedding album eventually became Everyday Life, and there are bits and pieces of it from there. Just not really, though. Like, the only song that, like, truly survived was Arabesque. And it's completely different from the version from 2010, as far as I know, even though there isn't any, like, demos or anything from there that are out on the internet, as far as I know. When will I release my Dark Ages playthrough? I don't know why I haven't. It really just comes down to time and brain energy, because I've been very I've been dealing with a lot of depression lately, so like, there's a lot of stuff happening, and there's a lot that I'm trying to do, and I'm not going to complain. I have a great job. I have a great situation, so I'm not going to complain too much. It's just, I've been very sad for numerous reasons. Favorite Coldplay album is Parachutes, but their best one is Viva La Vida. Top 3 video games of all time: Portal 1, Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 counts as one game, and Fallout New Vegas. Will you release a video about TF2 mods on Steam? Yes. I'm going to give it another month or 2 to wait for all the mods to get Steam pages that want to be on Steam and stuff. And I'm in the process of trying to reach out to the teams and, making sure that they know that, like, hey, you're going to be in a video. Is there anything you want people to know? That kind of thing. Steve Martin. He was rude to my mom once. Steve Martin was rude to my mom once. Steve Martin, the comedic actor. How do you go about vetting a new source these days? I literally answered an email to somebody a couple of days ago on this question. It's time. The only real way that you can vet a source is patience, time, and the ability to let a story or a scoop slip through your fingers. The way that that I do it is, if somebody tells you something, you don't do anything. If it's a new person and you've not verified them before and you don't know who they are, you don't do anything. You talk to them, you treat them with respect, you listen to what they have to say, you ask questions like you should. But you don't do anything with that information. And sometimes they'll get upset, like, hey, why didn't you? And it's because you're waiting for that thing to happen or for something else to occur that independently confirms the thing that was said to you, right? So like if somebody comes to you and is like, hey, such and such is going to release such and such, and it's going to be this, you could make a video and talk about that and, you know, maybe go forward with that and say like, oh, look, I was right. Or you can sit around with that info written down somewhere, the chat log saved, and wait. And I'd say about 70% the shit never happens and isn't true, because when you're a person that's known for speaking with insiders, then you have a lot of people. The bulk of the people who are reaching out to speak to you are trying to pull one over on you because they want to be able to go, I tricked Tyler McVicker into reporting on fake information, you know. So, you know, you have to know what to ask. Obviously, you need to be well versed enough in the topic that you can ask a kind of question that, when put forward, can confirm or deny what this person is saying, right? So, you know, you could ask like, oh, that's interesting, but have you heard what's going on with Deadlock? Or, oh, that's interesting, but what's the next thing for Counter-Strike? Or, oh, that's interesting, but what kind of features are coming to the Steam Deck? Or, you know, something short term that can kind of get you there. And even if the first thing is confirmed, this is the biggest mistake people make. If one thing that they say is like it's true, then they go, oh, this person's absolutely true. That sometimes it's a fluke. Sometimes they're not an insider, but they just know something for some reason. I don't trust a source until I get 3 or 4 things confirmed from them, right? I would talk more about that, but that gets into the territory of like identifying information of people. Am I going to cry when the HL3 trailer comes out? More than likely, yeah. Probably. Yeah. So asking good questions and also time will eventually verify sources. Yes. And when I say quote unquote good questions, I mean questions about things that are less important, but more easily verifiable. Right? So if your source, let's talk about Valve. If your source is claiming to be somebody who's associated with Valve in some way, then they would be able to know things that aren't just associated with the big scoop. Right? Tell me about their next hardware. Tell me about SteamOS. Tell me about the next feature coming to Steam. Tell me about Deadlock or Counter-Strike 2 or Dota 2. Tell me about something that is public that I could see within the next month. If not, you're going to go into the folder of, and if you continue to be wrong, then you get blocked. Yep. No, that's shit they teach you in journalism school. Exactly. Yes. Ever sit on a good drop for reasons other than not enough accurate, reliable information on this? Laziness, sometimes. Yeah. Sometimes it's a combination of laziness and what's the word? It's not productivity paralysis, but there's something along those lines where it's like you really want to do something, but your body just won't let you do it, or your brain just won't let you do it, right? I guess it's procrastination, but to me, procrastination is more of a active thing. Executive dysfunction, yes, exactly. It's depression. And so sometimes I have this thing where I'm just sitting at my desk and I'm like, well, I have a scoop. That would be a good video. It would make good money. And then nothing gets done for like 2 days. 40 videos in the draft folder. So the way that my project list works is it's not a draft folder. I write things down like in physical notebooks or on the notes app on my phone. And so Yeah, I've got hundreds of projects with at least a little bit of research in on them. I have a good blank stare. Thanks. I'm mentally ill. The ability to switch like this so much does show you that some of what I do is a mask. Right? Yeah. Okay. We're going to do letting off steam at the end of the month again. Damn, he looks like he could be in a Coldplay video. Maybe an early one. Look at this. How can I be upset when I'm this much of a man? I looked in the camera earlier and I was like, damn, dude. You're getting sun. You're losing weight. Hell yeah. I got chest hair and a half. I am so fucking hairy. I am the quintessential bear. I gotta tell you. Do you still go to the gym? I went to the gym this morning. I went to the gym a couple days ago. Yeah. I don't go to the gym every day because some days I'm literally just doing yard work for a few hours and that's good enough for me. Oh shit, you can see that I'm wearing pants and I lied. All right. That was bad. Can you hear me? Yeah. I don't know. So I absolutely am okay with taking what people would consider to be embarrassing men's health sponsorships, like Manscaped, like Hims, like Blue Chew, because I feel like that shit it needs to be undemonized. It needs to be normalized more for just the mental health of dudes. You know what I mean? Like, hey, most of us are on antidepressants. No shame in Blue Chew. You know what I mean? Manscaped is a scam. I don't know. Blue Chew's not. Although they do sell like a pack of pills for like $100 now. Some crazy fancy ones, and I'm just like $100. But yeah. You know, antidepressants kill your penis, so you know, why not? Hey, thanks for the follow. If you're new to the channel, please follow or subscribe. Oh, the more expensive Blue Chews give your penis stat track. Number of shots. I don't know what's caught with Manscaped. I don't know. What's more likely, HLX getting announced in the summer or winter? They're both just as likely as each other, my friend. I don't know. $100 boner gum better be having you bricked up for like a week. No. 24 to 36 hours, I'll tell you, though. What are you excited about regarding HLX leaks so far? Any feature you are most curious about? No, I don't know. Am I more excited for GTA 6 or HLX? HLX, but it's actually much closer than you think. Thoughts on your gray recliner? It's actually blue. That recliner is older than I am. That recliner I found in this house. This house, by the way, so it's a whole thing, but like this house was like somebody passed away in the like distant family and it was furnished and I still have all this like crazy furniture in it still that I need to get through. That chair is from like the 70s and it's fine. It's okay. Yeah, I don't know about I don't know about Summer Games Fest. Like, obviously, it's possible, right? So I don't know. It's absolutely.
It's absolutely possible. I just don't.
I just don't know.
Is this working? Do I sound like somebody else? Is the voice changer working? I have the voice changer set up. Yeah, so I have his active voice changer. Everybody, this is supposedly supposed to sound like the president or something. Yeah, but
How about this one? This is a voice, apparently from a video game that's fairly popular right now. I've not played it yet. What do you think this sounds like? It's just a little robotic. What does this sound like? Repo, yeah, because I can't hear what this sounds like. I don't know what this sounds.
But I do have a lifetime code for voice mod, so then I do have access to voice mod forever, which is pretty cool. Yeah. I think these are like AI voice-to-voice things. And I met a bunch of them.
And I don't know what I sound like when I use them. So we're just kind of like luck of the draw here. Boo boo baba. Boo boo baba. Boo boo baba. So I have these installed for like okay, that sounds terrible.
I have those installed for RPGs if we ever stream RPGs. Because I love classic Fallout, but like so little of it is voice acted. So instead of me having to do different voices for every single character,
They're just like, man,
they kind of look like, oh, it's an older woman character.
please, can you go kill those Brahmin hunters? Or our family's going to starve because all the Brahmin have died and they're going, who is killing our Brahmin?
You know, something like that. You know what I mean?
Welcome to Vault 68. We have a bunch of food and you're not allowed in it. So fuck you, we're gonna turn on the turrets.
Shit like that. Try doing a Trump impression with the Trump filter. No. Tyler, later in stream, can you say a massive but convincing lie about Half-Life 3 to throw off journalists? No, because that would only affect me, not them. Well, we didn't know if he was telling the truth or not. He said it, not us. We're just repeating what... Fuck off. No, absolutely not. I'm Jesus. We love Jesus, don't we, folks? God came to me. Tears in his eyes. He looked at me, tears in his eyes. He said, I wish you were my son. I do this bit with my very Republican family where Trump does a speech where he claims that he is the son of God and that he's a better son of God than that previous Jesus. Oh, it doesn't do well at all. But Electra thinks it's the funniest fucking shit. Yeah, the phrase that I can do is tears in his... Everybody does tears in his eyes. Bald spot? What? 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 No way! Grown man has hair? What? Oh, you got me. I say, make our Savior uncrucified again. Jesus came to me, tears in his eyes. He said, tears in his eyes. He said, oh, you're so much better. Yeah. I did that bit at Easter. I did that bit at Easter dinner. Yeah. We love it, don't we, folks? I'm the son of God. How do they usually react? Like this. Like that. If you did that same joke in a Biden voice. Folks! No. Come on. No. No. Folks. I was getting ice cream and God came down and my friend, what was his name? He wore a helmet. He came down and he was like, you met my friend Jesus? Yeah. Come on, Jack. No, come on. And we went to Target and we bought some cups. He said that I'm the son of God. Yeah, come on, yeah. And then my family be like, I'm getting lightheaded. I can't do that. That was too much. I felt like I was going to pass out doing that. Listen here. I'm the son of God, Jack. I'm the son of God. Yeah. He said, oh, Jesus, tears in his eyes. Yeah. He said he's crucified. I said, no, come on. No, come on. No, don't do that. No. Look fat. I look like that guy from 90 Day Fiancé. I got you a gift, honey. It's a toothbrush. You should use it more. There's like 8 people that know what the fuck I'm talking about. Hey, it's Mr. CEO Man. I don't like doing I don't think I'm going to be doing Mr. CEO Man anymore. This will be your last time. I'm Mr. CEO Man, CEO of GamesCompany.net, and I'm retiring. Bye! Crazy that I understand. The guy that puts mayo in his hair. Yep. Any idea what could be the system seller for the future Valve VR headset? The ability to play anything on it. I might bring him back one day. I just, I don't know. Like, it's an old character. I can do other things. I could do hey, come on, Jack, come on. Hey, I'm the son of God. You know, he came to me and he's like, yeah, come on. And everybody is like, I can't wait. I went to ice cream parlor and got a soda pop from the pharmacist at the soda fountain. My friend, Peanut. We had a friend named Peanut. I can do that for hours if you want me to. Yeah, doing Mr. CEO Man for more than like 40 minutes, like, because your neck has to be like this the whole time. I'm Mr. CEO Man. You gotta have those glasses on. And like maybe 1,000 people total give a shit about Mr. CEO Man. CEO of GamesCompany.net. Me breaking character in the portal ports to Switch right now was funny as hell. Yeah, it was pretty funny, huh? Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty funny. Yeah. It was, come on. Come on, Jack. Come on. Bridge Constructor Portal 2, when? When was the last time that you cleaned inside the foreskin? Will Mr. CEO Man react to Half-Life 3? Probably not. Who would you cast as Mr. CEO Man in the Tyler McVicker movie? Well, Chris Farley, but that's not... and if not Chris Farley, then John Candy, but I don't know. We don't really have anybody like that anymore. Yeah. Yeah, come on. Yeah. Do not come. Do not come. I'm gonna come. Jack Black? Ugh, no. He was cool, and then he was in everything. $5 from Ghostwriter. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Josh Gad. Yeah, let's get that snowman guy to do me. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Well, my favorite John Candy movie is Uncle Buck. By far. I like Spaceballs. I like Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. I like The Great Outdoors. I like... what else is he in? Well, he's in Home Alone for a little bit. Kowalski. He plays Polka in the back of a truck. What else was he in? Uncle Buck is just... Oh, that movie's fucking great. Uncle Buck, are you kidding? And then Chris Farley is just like... Oh, Cool Runnings, yeah. Robert De Niro. I used to be able to do a face that kind of like... Obama soda. Yeah. Oh, God. Is it kind of terrifying that Valve could drop the HLX announcement at any... Yeah, it is, actually, because it's like, at any moment, the next 72 hours of my life can just be taken. You know what I mean? Any moment. So yeah, it's a little scary. But hey, you know, being able to go, I was right, again, will be slightly helpful. I've been on yellow alert since last week. Why? Excuse me. What does yellow alert mean? Do you think we'll get a heads up before the reveal drops? It's possible, but probably not. You got it all planned out? I have some of it planned out, yeah. Some of it's going to be absolutely seat of the pants kind of thing, but like, yeah, I've got some of it planned out. You know how it is. You know how we do. Yeah. Yellow alert as in not planning more than a day away from home just in case shit goes down. Oh, yeah. I've been in that mode for a couple of months now, yeah. Because not only is it HLX, but it's also the Deckard, you know. And I would assume the Deckard is earlier, but I think the tariffs might have fucked it up a bit. What do I think of Helldivers? I've not played much of it. Again, multiplayer stuff just turns me off. Tyler should make a video just before SGF. Yeah, that went great, didn't it? Any updates on the Deckard? Not really. Deckard delayed to November, right? That's the current rumor. I don't know where you heard that, but that is the current rumor. Another underrated song. It's on the top of Gaming Leaks and Rumors. It is. It's called Where's My Boy? Well, TF is on the front. Oh, sadly, it's Bradley. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm not super into Gaming Leaks or Rumors. Oh. Come on. This is technically a song by a guy named Faultline, and Chris Martin just sings on it, but they co-wrote it, so. To the state of affairs. Mm. Song slaps. Song slaps, man. Song slaps. Nobody fucking knows about that song either. That video has 71 views. Should we tell him? That song slaps. Song's called Where Is My Boy? If you're watching on YouTube, there was no song playing. Music can only be played on Twitch. I'm about done, but I'm thinking, like, is there any other cool shit? Other cool songs that are worth playing from back in the day? Down, bound, boom, boom. Okay, so yeah, it's crazy to me how we were talking earlier about, like, how people like trade and hoard and gatekeep and are toxic over things that they don't own. Like, demos leak out sometimes from bands, pretty much every band. And yeah, they're just on YouTube now? What the fuck? This channel is not going to last long. But the fact that these things have been sitting here for a month? What the fuck? Oh, Jesus. I don't know. I don't understand the state of, like, music leaks. Because shit just is on SoundCloud and YouTube. It's just like, it's out there now. It's just, I don't know. It's fucking crazy. All right, there's one thing I want to show you. And then I gotta go. So I've not met them or anything, but I have ordered not a great deal, but some stuff off of the Coldplay merch store in the past. And randomly, I didn't buy this, just randomly, I get this package in the mail. Sent from Malibu, which is where the main studio is. And some of the other super fans that are my friends also got one of these, but very, very few people actually got sent one of these. This is a lithograph. These are autographs. Terrible autographs. Like, this is a loop. This is just a J. I don't know what that is. But this is, yeah, it's their autographs. I've been meaning to frame it, but I just kept it. And it's good because this album's actually really good, so. Of course, I cried when I got it because I didn't know that I was getting it. Like, I obviously ordered the album as soon as it went up for pre-order, which was like June, and it didn't come out until October. And this was shipped, this showed up on my doorstep at my old place in like September. I wasn't expecting anything. I'm like, I didn't order anything from Malibu. What the hell? And I open it in the kitchen, and Electra's like, what is it? And I'm holding it like this. You know. Your boy likes that band, huh? So that's that. You know, that's the situation there. I do own a few pieces of autographed material from them, but like just like getting sent it out of nowhere, and I didn't order it or nothing. It's like a 12 by 12 litho print of the Moon Music album cover. Just randomly sent to my house. It's kind of cool. Is Coldplay my favorite band? No. Nah. I don't think so. Probably not. It's the same thing with video games where it's just like I don't know a whole lot about everything. But the things I do know about, I'm obsessed with, and I love them, and I know everything. You know what I mean? Like Valve Software, id Software, 90s computer gaming stuff, Nintendo to an extent. My hatred fuels my stuff. Fallout, you know. So I know everything about it, you know. And I'm very obsessive. I wonder what that means. No, Coldplay is my favorite musically. I'm joking. They're my favorite band by far. Yes. Chris Will, Johnny Guy, Phil. Chris Will, Johnny Guy, Phil. It's not okay that they say love Chris Guy, Will, and Johnny. Where's Phil's name on this card? You know? Have you played the Metro series? No, I've been meaning to. I've definitely been meaning to. Is there any other cool shit that I can show you that I've been meaning to show you? I mean, probably, but like, show us your free Vive. Coldplay is your favorite musically, and you take a deep inspiration from Chris Martin. I take a very deep, creative inspiration from Chris Martin, in Chris Martin, the creator, and not necessarily the human. Although the human elements obviously leak into what affects the creative body of work. Yeah. But yeah, and he's my role. He's my role model in life. He doesn't eat past 4 p.m. How's he do that? What the fuck's that about? Doesn't eat past 4 p.m.? What? What does that mean? What else can I show you that's cool? I don't know if I've shown this, but I found this for $2 at a thrift store. It's an old Panasonic handheld recording tape player thing. It's only in mono. And it just works. It's crazy that it just works. No, the belt, like, it just, I don't know, man. It might be direct drive, to be honest. Microphone still works in this thing. Sean, would you like to say something? Hello. Chris, would you? Can you, Mr. McVicker was a man, so are you something? Of course, folks, Chris Mc. This is an actual working microphone. This is apparently from like 1974 or 1975, and it still works fucking great, and I don't know how.
Says that I can't disclose the information at this time.
Why does it it's working today? Of course, folks, Chris McVicker. What time? What? Excuse. Not a lot. This is an actual working microphone. This is apparently from like 1974 or 1975, and it still works fucking great, and I don't know how. So that works. That's a neat little trinket. I have this box. Does anybody know what's in this box? This little white box? What do you think's in this little white box? I'm about to show you what's in this little white box. I made these back in the day. I made each individual card in GIMP, and then I had them printed professionally so that we could play Artifact as a board game before the game came out. Sometimes I do work that's so good even Valve is like, oh, okay, that's pretty cool. Do you still have ones for items on heroes? Yeah. So, like, here are creep cards. Here are laning cards. You know? Tyler, you have big calves? Well, I need big calves to carry this fat Italian body around. Do I still have the artifact bag? They got pissed in? I think so. Oh, right. Here it is. Found it. This gun too big. I've shrunk. Oh God, I shrunk. I am the spy. I am the spy. I have a big gun. I am the spy. My petit chauffeur. I am the spy. I am the spy. I don't know why they made it so damn big. But they made it really fucking big. I am the spy. I was just looking for my artifact bag. I don't know where that went. Yeah. This will be the last thing I show. Then I'm gonna go. This is a converted clock that used to be an instrument used in a B-25 World War II bomber. Like this was one of the dials that was in the cockpit of a flight-used World War II B-25 bomber. That's pretty neat. Here's an unopened box of Prince Albert crimp cut cigarettes from World War II. My grandfather was a World War II bomber. He flew a B-25 bomber in World War II. And he died many, many years ago, but he was my best friend through most of my childhood. And I inherited all of his World War II stuff. So that's pretty cool. I have like empty ammo boxes and shit like that. Yeah, I miss that man all the time. Am I a hoarder? Yeah. Yep. That's not even a joke. I absolutely am. But hey, what am I supposed to do? You know? Life is fucking hard. So how are y'all doing? I'm going to wrap up here. Good? That's good. So, yeah. I'll talk to y'all later. Ow. Coldplay. Once again, if you know Chris Martin, tell him that there's this really cool, fat Italian American man, kind of like a young Tony Soprano type, who's real big fan, really big fan, and would love to just like sit down and talk. You know, if anybody has connections, you know. And I'm gonna start asking this at the end of everything I do, just in case somebody knows somebody who knows somebody. No, I don't wish Chris Martin was my dad. I don't know the quality of his fathering, and it's not my business. I'm a fan of the creative, not the person. Okay. Gabagool. We didn't play a damn thing. We were supposed to play video games. Why is it that y'all are more entertained and I'm just fucking talking? I'm not that cool. What's wrong with you? Thanks for being here. Making sure I don't forget anything else. How old am I? 28. I am 28 years old. To deodorant. It's medicine for the soul. I learned how to play that on guitar in high school. It's just like 6 chords. Datamine stream this week? Yeah. Yep. I wanted to play Tale of Two Wastelands today, but, you know. Brush your teeth. I don't say the B word, but yeah, shout out Simple Flips. That's my bud. That's my guy. All right. You guys were cool. Thank you so much. You guys helped. Like, you talk to Chris and he hates Half-Life. I don't think Chris Martin's a big gamer, gonna be real. I think he might play Wordle. I think he might be just as much of a gamer as the new Pope. I might be wrong, you know. Maybe his son or daughter is really into games, and so but I don't think Chris Martin's a big gamer. If he is, holy shit, we got some stuff to talk about, but thank you for taking the time to stream. It's my job, don't worry about it. I just saw Coldplay at Tesco and they screamed at me. Well, I don't think Chris lives in England. I think he lives in California. I think Johnny Buckland lives in London. Will Champion might live in London, but I think Guy Berryman lives in like somewhere else in Europe or something. They're all over the world. Now, he was on holiday. Oh, he was on holiday in England? I could see him going back to Devon. I could see him visiting Camden. I could see him being in London because they have a studio in London, but he told me before screen. So you ran into the entire band of Coldplay at Tesco, and before he proceeded to scream at you, he went, "Yeah, that's right, I'm on holiday," and he fucking exploded. Yeah, I'm on holiday. Now get the fuck out of Tesco's, my fucking Tesco's, love. I came down here for a fucking sausage roll and everything's got fucking sold out. I fucking hate I gotta go to Greg's in the fucking morning. I don't want no fucking... Ugh. I said fucking buy more petrol to be able to get down here and you don't have a fucking sausage roll in stock. That's what British people sound like to me. Sad T42. Bruh, Sad T42. Wait a minute. Sad T42? Are you like a big cold? What the fuck? I mean, you just told me about Ode to Deodorant and you knew about Where's My Boy. Who the fuck are you? Do I know you? Are you like a big fan too? You got 42 in the name, and I know that's technically other things, but like, it's like in the same way that Don't Panic can be from, you know, Hitchhiker's Guide or prove your fandom. I'm gonna ask you a hard trivia question, and you can't Google it. Okay. All right. Okay. Name 2 songs that are not publicly released, but were performed publicly in the late 90s in Coldplay's first few shows at like the Laurel Tree or the Bull, and you know, the first like name 2 early songs that aren't publicly released. And Ode to Deodorant doesn't count because they never actually played that live much. They played it like once or twice. Don't you dare look this up. They're looking it up. So Sad and Vitamins. That technically counts, but you're not the same person. Damn. Jork and my pernerts. And Who Shat in the Urinal? Don't know, dude. I'm not that deep. We would have accepted So Sad. We would have accepted Vitamins. And we would have accepted If All Else Fails. And we would have accepted Panic Part 1. And we would have accepted Waiting in Line. And we would have accepted Wooden House. We would have accepted all of those. And I guess I would have accepted Bigger Tractor, but that doesn't really count. Isn't Waiting in Line basically Parachutes? Is it? Here I am and I take my time. Here I am and I wait in line always. Is it? Oh my God, is that true? Is Waiting in Line the full piano version of Parachutes? Dude, this fucking can't get nerdier than I am. Jesus Christ. Always. Bye. Mike's leaving. Okay.